One, two. Well, he'll smoke him again. Oh. He's down.
Hey y'all, it's Hans. That was the first hunts with the brand new Pulsar Thermion 2 XP50. So we got the first hunts and the full review packed into one video. There's a lot to say. Thank you for joining me. We're going to be doing a walk around the scope. You're going to see the specs, a lot of videos through the scope, likes and dislikes. Probably most importantly, what's the difference between this, the Thermion 2 XP50 and the previous Thermion XP50. So what are the differences? You'll get to find that out. We're going to be doing the likes and dislikes, who it might be good for. We got a lot to say, but if you want a more detailed review, you can find our weekly podcast. That's Jason at Outdoor Legacy Gear. We do a weekly podcast called The Late Night Vision Show. It's all about night vision and thermal optics and hog and coyote hunting. So you can find it on thelatenightVisionShow.com. Our review of this optic is episode 159. So check that out. It's about 45 minutes long, and you will hear everything you want to know about this scope. This is more condensed version, but we're showing videos and get to see a lot more through the scope, a lot more action, obviously. So the specs, it's a 640 by 480 thermal core resolution, 17 micron, starts out on 2 power and goes up to 16 power. And it's an 8 times digital zoom. It's got a sub 25 NETD thermal sensor, which that's brand new. We'll talk about that a little bit later. It mounts with any standard set of 30 millimeter rings. It's got a 2,000 yard detection range. It's recoil rated to a 375 H&H caliber or a 12 gauge shotgun. It's IPX7 rated, which means it is submersible in 3 feet of water for 30 minutes. It has internal video and audio recording, 5 zeroing profiles, picture-in-picture display, multiple color palettes, multiple reticle color options, and 2 rechargeable batteries. It gives you about approximately 6 hours of runtime. The price is $4,999.97, so right at $5,000. That's a very quick rundown of the specs. You'll also, if you want to see those again, they will be listed out in the description of this video. So a lot that we went through there in a short amount of time, but let's talk about what the difference is between the Thermion XP50 and the Thermion 2 XP50. So the Thermion 2 XP50, the main differences are the Thermion 2 is a true 50 millimeter objective lens, or has a true 50 millimeter objective lens on it, which the Thermion, the regular Thermion XP50 was a little bit smaller. I want to say it was like 42 millimeters. This one's a true 50 millimeter objective lens. Also, it has the sub 25 NETD thermal sensor, which just think it's a new improved sensor, thermal sensor. The 25 number, the lower the number on that, the better and more detail you'll see with the image. And I'm going to show side-by-side videos of both optics, the regular XP50 and the Thermion 2 XP50. You'll get to see side by side. So what you will notice at looking at these optics when you're showing the video side by side is the detail in the background is much more crisp, and it shows a lot more detail on the Thermion 2, and also the target objects have sharper edges on them. So those are the big differences: better detail and clarity in the background objects and sharper edges on the target objects. With that being said, those are just the differences. A quick rundown of the differences of the regular XP50 and the Thermion 2 XP50: objective lens size, spring-loaded objective lens cap, and the new improved sub 25 NETD thermal sensor. So those are the differences. If that's what you came here for, that's it. That's all you need to know as far as the differences. Talking about ID range, and then we'll do a quick walk around. It says the detection range is 2,000 yards. The ID range is going to be anywhere from 400 to 600 yards. And why I say, the 200-yard difference. If you're fairly new at thermal or night vision hunting or hunting at night with thermal, your ID range may be a little bit lower than somebody that's more experienced. Somebody that does it several times a month, several times a week, like me, or very, very regularly. So, if you're just beginning out, your ID range telling between a hog and a deer at, different ranges, it might be on that lower end towards the 400 range. If you've been doing it a while, you probably can ID out to 600 yards. Depending on the terrain, you may be able to do a little bit further, but I'm going to, conservative number 400 to 600 yard ID range. So walk around in the scope. The Thermion design, this mounts with any set of 30 millimeter standard rings. We sell and we use and prefer and recommend the American Defense Manufacturing mounts. It's a 2-throw lever mount made by American Defense Manufacturing. Very good mounts. You can find them on the website, outdoorlegacygear.com. And we take a lot of pride in these. We love American Defense Manufacturing. We love the company. And these mounts are top notch. So you got a good scope. You're buying a good scope. You're paying good money for a good scope. Put it in a good mount. Not a $60 mount or something. This is, it's going to run you around $200 or so. But it is, it's worth the money. Mainly the buttons that you're going to be using are right here. There's 3 buttons. You got your power button. You've got your magnification button. You've got your record button. These are, they also have long presses and short presses that will do different functions. But I mean, probably the easiest access of any buttons of the vast majority of the scopes on the market. Really easy to maneuver through and use at night. On the other side, inside, you've got your menu wheel that turns back and forth. A long press of the button takes you to the menu, and you scroll through the menu and change a lot of different specific functions and things that you need to get done. You got your battery, external battery. This is a battery cap that flips off. There's 2 batteries in this scope. There's an internal battery that does not remove, and you got a one removable battery. So those 2 batteries relay back to each other to give you extended battery life. But this one can be removed, and you can interchange it and put a new one in when if you're hunting for long periods of time at night, to be able to get longer run time. But you can expect to get close to 6 hours of run time on 2 fully charged batteries. You've got your objective lens focus right here. It's just kind of like a rubber grommet. You got your eyepiece diopter focus right here. It does come with a rubber eye cup. I don't use it. I like it actually better without it. This scope, you can see the design looks just like a daytime optic, which makes it ideal for if you're the type of person that likes to hunt with bolt action rifles, standard rifles or ARs. I mean, it fits perfectly on a bolt action rifle, fits perfectly on an AR platform. The eye relief is perfect. I mean, it just feels really natural. That's one of the big advantages of the Thermion design that I really like, is just the way that it feels when you line up to it. Eye relief on it's just real comfortable on it, and that's why we've been a big fan of the Thermion since day one. The likes, let me start with the dislikes, I think, because we've talked about it before on the Late Night Vision show. The only dislike I have is the battery setup. I don't particularly care for the one internal battery and the external battery. I wish it was either just one removable battery. But with that being said, I never have any issues with the batteries that I have. They run for the amount of time that I expect them to run for. If I need to, I'll bring an extra battery. You can always hook up an external battery pack with a cable right in there. It works just fine, but never have any issues with the batteries. And, that would be the only negative, is that it has one non-removable battery. So the likes, picture image on it is fantastic. You've seen the videos. I mean, very crisp, very clear. A 640 resolution scope, you do expect it to be a really good picture image, but they've made constant improvements. I've been a huge fan of the XP50, the Pulsar XP50, back to when they had the Trail model, and everybody remembers what that looks like. They went from the Trail models to the Thermion models, now to the Thermion 2s, and Jason and I, the XP50s will always be one of our favorite scopes. And they keep improving it. I hope you notice that they make these changes, with the way it looks, the functionality, with the sensors, but their price has stayed the same. So they're making these improvements and they're not raising the price. The price of this scope has been the same for several years now, which is a good thing. The image quality on it just continues to get better. And you can tell by the side-by-side videos that a lot of people want to know, is there a difference in the picture image between the Thermion, the regular Thermion, and Thermion 2? There absolutely is. You can tell by the video. The Thermion 2 definitely has a better picture image. Now, there might be people out there that own a Pulsar Thermion and say, do I need to switch? Do I need to sell the one I got and get a brand new one? Well, that's completely up to you. If you can tell that the picture image is a little bit better on the Thermion 2. If you are in a position you feel like you want something brand new, by all means, get you a brand new scope. There's always a good reason to do that. But what I will say is, this is the Thermion 2 is not going to help you shoot more hogs or coyotes. It may look better when you're doing it, but you're not going to shoot more hogs or coyotes because you got this one versus the one that you've got. So the regular Thermion XP50s are very good. The Thermion 2 XP50s are a little bit better, but if you're happy with what you got, I say stick with what you got. If you want an upgrade, then more power to you, and we hope that you choose Outdoor Legacy Gear for that purchase of your brand new, either Pulsar, the Thermion 2 XP50, or whatever Pulsar product. We'd love to help you out. We are continuing to see advancements with Pulsar products, and I do expect it to go on into 2021 and on out to the future. They're always innovating. They're trying to push their products further and further along. Great company to work with, a great customer service. I mean, the only thing is, we wish we could get, we could get more inventory, and we wish we could get more of these out, but that's, they can only make so many, and I tell you what, they're making more than they ever have, and they're pushing it out. It's just the popularity of the sport and the popularity of the product, but they're doing a good job, and they're getting as many scopes out as they possibly can, and they are working like crazy, and I know they are. So we appreciate everything they do. This is a very good scope, with what I said, with the lights, with the picture image, with the way that it feels on the rifle, the design, the fact that it fits on a bolt action rifle or an AR, which I like to shoot both these days, AR rifles and bolt action rifles. It's just I think this is for a 640 resolution scope. The Pulsar Thermion 2 is one of the best buys on the market for everything that you get, with all the bells and whistles and the Wi-Fi and the app and all that stuff. It's one of the best deals on the market. And we hope you to choose Outdoor Legacy Gear for that purchase. We appreciate you watching. You can hop over to the website, outdoorlegacygear.com. You can call us at 877-350-1818. If you want to talk to me, just call up and say, hey, I want to talk to Hans. I saw you did a review on the Thermion 2. I'd love to talk to you. So you can call me. I've used this scope for several weeks now out in the field, testing it every 6 nights a week is how often I hunt. So I appreciate you watching the video. We will talk to you soon. We'll see you soon. Y'all stay safe in the fields. Keep making them bacon pancakes.